This is a quick video to help you out with craniosacral motions. It should get you started and also help you on the boards. So first thing you want to do is label your columns as non-physiologic and physiologic. Then the next thing is label your columns as diagnosis, axis, and rotation. So then start filling out your first column. So you'll have flexion and extension, a torsion, and a side bending rotation. Then you'll have, under the non-physiologics, you'll have lateral strain and a vertical strain. And then I group compression in here, though not everyone seems to do that. A thing to point out is that the number of words is equal to the number of axes that you'll have. So for example, a flexion extension will have 2 axes. Torsion will have 1 axis. Side bending rotation would have 3 axes. Now, for the rotation column, you should remember that the way you want to read this is that sacral motion would be opposite of the occipital motion. So the sacral rotates opposite the occiput, and this works. The only place you want to remember that that there is an exception is on the side bending rotation. The 1 AP axis is going to have the same rotation, but otherwise the rest of these are all going to be opposite. I like to keep the torsion and side bending rotation next to each other just to help me remember that my 2 AP axes are together right here. But otherwise you can think of it as 1, 2, 3. Now for non-physiologic motions, remember that a lateral strain diagnosis, 2 words, 2 axes. It's lateral diagnosis, it's a vertical axis. Vertical strain, vertical diagnosis, transverse axis. It's non-physiologic, so the rotation is going to be the same. And for compression, it's considered non-physiologic by many, but technically it doesn't have a rotation by definition. Also, you should point out that you should remember just that a lateral blow is going to give you a lateral strain, and a vertical blow is going to give you a vertical strain. The other thing that I like to remember is that when you're naming these, a lot of people use their hands to kind of just figure out what's going on, and I recommend doing that. There's plenty of videos on it. I'm sure they'll go over it with you in class though. However, physiologic diagnosis is based on what your index fingers are doing, and a non-physiologic diagnosis will be based on what your pinky fingers are doing.